The cost of living in London is guaranteed to be higher than living elsewhere. I'm actually spending a lot, but I feel like a lot of it is necessary. Like, Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we've got a very interesting and painful video, mostly for me, because today we're going to be taking a look at how much I spend in a month living in London. And this is actually the first time that I'm going to look at what I've been spending and how much it all comes to in a month. So I'm almost dreading it because I know that the number's going to be very high. But hopefully this video will help anybody who's looking to move to London or anybody who's interested to know how much it actually costs. So leave a like, subscribe down below if you are enjoying these videos. If you just looked at these numbers, right, you might think, what on earth is he spending all his money on? Because basically, right, I don't want anybody to think that this expenditure is excessive. But when you see some of it, you might think that it is. But then I want to show you in a week in the life vlog essentially how normal this spending is and how quickly money goes and how you need so much stuff to survive. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically, there's a part 2 coming soon. So here are just a few random transactions that I've made over recent weeks. So we're going to start with the essential stuff and then move on to the luxury stuff. And it is also worth pointing out that I think because we're in a cost of living crisis, this video is probably more relevant than ever. So first up on the essential expenditure list is going to be travel. Now, this is something that I do find very frustrating because I spend a large amount of money on it. And basically, if you've ever been on the tube, right, it's all my days. Actually, like, I paid £2.60 to get on this tube, and the whole journey, my ears are just, there's no other service, right? If I was in an Uber and my Uber was moving that mad, I wouldn't pay for the ride, you know what I mean? But the tube is like, genuinely hurts. It's genuinely painful for me and everybody else who gets on the tube, but we don't even get a discount. So how much do I actually spend on travel every month? I make about 10 journeys every single week on the tube. We got going into London 4 times there and back, that makes it 8 journeys, and then we've got 2 extra journeys in between. Now, if every single journey costs £2.60, it costs £26 a week for traveling, times by 4, that is £104 per month on traveling using the tube, which is quite a lot of money. Now, there's no denying that sometimes when you make a trip for work or you're out and about in London, you might need something like a coffee like this from Starbucks, as you can see, very appetizing there. And when you go to London, Starbucks coffees are definitely more expensive than they are in other places. Maybe like 10% or something like that. But that is why I give high praise to stuff like Tesco, because their meal deal, £3 for all that stuff. And let's say that's 2 essential meal deals per week along with 2 essential coffees. And the reason why I say essential is because you can't always plan if you're going to be hungry or tired and you need a coffee or you need a snack. That is going to come to about £13 a week, because coffees are about £3.50 on average in London, whereas they might be like £2.90 or £3.20 elsewhere, and meal deals stick at £3 times by 4. That is going to be about £52 per month on essential snacks. And I think it's definitely 10 to 15% more expensive than other places, but meal deals are the saving grace. I promise you, Tesco never up it. Now again, we are going to talk about my rent and my bills a bit later on in this video, but next up, I think personally it's essential. You're going to have to let me know what you think down below. But a category which I like to call essential socializing, right? To be happy, you definitely have to go out like once a week to an event, to a food place to get some drinks, or even to your friend's house where you might bring some food to cook, or etc, etc. You know, there's one essential night of socializing every week that I think helps to maintain happiness. And I think as well as rent and bills and stuff, which is insane, this category is what can put people from, you know, able to live in London to I can't afford it. So let's just assume something really reasonable, I think, is that every week you have one night out, whether it be at work, a partner, friends, or whatever. So that's 4 nights out per month. 2 of those nights out are going to be drinking events. 1 could be socializing at a friend's, and the other can be an event. Now here's the thing about London, right? Let's say on the 2 drinking nights out, let's say you get a pint of beer, you're looking at £6.50, you get a pint of cider, you're looking at £7. You get a cocktail, on average, you're looking at about £12, and you can even pay up to 20 quid for a cocktail, which is freaking insane. I would never do that. And realistically, everybody who goes out to a pub, you have 1, you have 2, you're like, oh man, who cares about money, let's just have a few more. So it would more than likely on a night out work out more than this. But let's say you're gonna spend about £25.50 for a night out in London on drinks, 3 drinks. Do that twice a month, that's £51. Let's say the other night you go to a friend's and you socialise, you buy some bits, that's a tenner, bring it up to £61. And then let's say on the final night you go to an event, you get some food, that's about £30, right? Essential socialising is going to be a trim. Haircuts in London, again, are more expensive than elsewhere. I normally pay about £13, whereas here I pay 25. So it brings this category of essential socialising up to about £116 a month. You need a trim roughly about every month, I'd say. Obviously you can wait longer. Obviously you can, you know, try and sneak drinks in or stick at Wetherspoons, but I'm being realistic to create a happy work-life health balance, you know? And all of these figures are heavily based on my last month's expenditure, so there is a lot of truth behind this. And I consider myself an average spender. And at this point, guys, I want to say a huge thank you to today's sponsors, Levitex. Now, if you're wondering why I'm holding a pillow right now, Levitex are a sleep optimization company where they develop pillows that help you sleep in the correct posture so that your pain may disappear so you feel more well rested. And for me personally, right, so I had a consultation. They told me that I slept in the heavy lifter position with my arm under my pillow like this, and they said that for me to get in the right sleep position, I need a thicker pillow, and subsequently it would help with any neck pain that I was sometimes getting. And so they sent me out this pillow. I started using it for about 2 weeks now. It's nice and thick, and I actually can say that the quality of my sleep is definitely better. And for me, good sleep is so valuable because if you sleep well, then you're more productive the next day, you're happier, and I personally find that myself a lot. And it's even known to help boost circulation and digestion, reduce tension, i.e. when you're leaning over your desk the whole day like me, it helps release the tension in my shoulders and neck and create less tension going forward. So thank you very much to them for sponsoring today's video, and use my link to get a special discount for Levitex down in the description below. Next up again, household expenditure. This stuff is essential. We're looking at food, cleaning products, and this sort of thing, I mean, it takes up a lot of time to do. It's very, you know, something I never realized how expensive it was till I moved out. And I think in London, you know, groceries are a bit more expensive, and so I'd say I do about 2 food shops per month and then buy some random separate bits from the local Sainsbury's or Tesco. And it definitely seems to be about £2 for a pint of milk in the local corner shop now, whereas back home it was like £1.50. The cost of living in London is guaranteed to be higher than living elsewhere. But I'm going to start to rattle through these now, but for 2 food shops plus some other expenditure, we're looking at about £120 per month. Then let's say I need some cleaning products, I need some random bits like printer ink, or I need to replace a blanket on the sofa, like random mundane stuff that we need to buy and sort out. I'd say that brings it up to about £180 a month, right? Oh my goodness. I know how much rent I pay as well. Like, genuinely, unless something changes, I won't be able to live in London forever. You know what I mean? I'd have to move out. Genuinely, I'd have to leave very soon. Yeah. So next up could be a category that everybody's probably been waiting for. It's my rent, it's my bills. How much does this stuff cost? Well, I'm just gonna give you my share. So on average, our rent is about £850 per person. Then we obviously have bills, which include stuff like Wi-Fi, which we've got for £10 each. Scrap everything else, save money on Virgin Media, all that sort of stuff. Electricity is about 50 quid each. And then gas, we're not using the heating, we're not using anything on that side of things. So we haven't had the heating on once. And we don't have any gas in this place. Now the council tax is about 90 quid a month. Depending what region you are, you get a different band. London's definitely more expensive than York, for example. So again, you're looking at an extra 20 quid council tax a month, if not 30, 40 quid to be in London. And the total for that section is about £1,000. Oh, goodness. Holy smokes, I'm spending far too much, mate. I'm actually spending a lot, but I feel like a lot of it is necessary. Like, the amount I'm spending, right, I feel like there's not much I can cut back on. It feels like a lot, doesn't it? I mean, you'll see in my video later on that, I don't know, this is what's got to be done. Finally, moving on to one of the last categories is going to be subscriptions. Now, obviously this stuff I'd say is more on the luxury side of things, although you do really need a phone to survive. Spotify, again, is kind of essential, or having one of the Apple Music or something like that. So Spotify is about £11 a month, right? Amazon Prime works out about £9 a month for the year. Student rate, I think that is, I've still got that, thank goodness. Gym, I was a bit thrifty. I work in partnership with the local Phoenix gym, make some content for them. I get free membership, thank goodness. I save some money there, thank goodness, gosh. Acting class, I go to one every week. It costs me £35 per session for 3 hours. So I spend 140 quid on acting, which is actually quite a lot. But I do feel like I'm making good progress, which makes it worth it. My phone contract is £8 a month. I've got a SIM-only contract, the cheapest one you can get. Like, I've got 30 gig of data though, unlimited text calls, so I've got a very thrifty deal. I'll leave all of these thrifty deals for my phone, for Amazon, for all of the subscription stuff down in the description below. But all in all, those expenditures come to £168 on average, based on my last month's expenditures. Brings me to my total expenditure and cost of living in London for me personally, which is freaking insane. The cost of living in London is genuinely insane. Like, when I was living in York, my cost of living was over 60% cheaper. I estimate my total cost of living in London based on last month's to be £1,619. And I think that is quite expensive, considering I'm not really treating myself here to any like new PS4 games, anything luxurious in this list. Most of this stuff is essential stuff, and you can see that I haven't included any shopping. Like, maybe I get the odd charity shopping, you know, t-shirt or clothes or whatever. Maybe I have to travel home, which is a bit more expensive. Maybe I have to go. This is my expenditure at minimum levels, right? Without many luxuries, without any spontaneous random traveling events. So yeah, £1,619 a month is my minimum cost of living to live in London, right? Let me know what you guys think of that expenditure. Is it too high? Is it too low? Have you worked out yours, and is yours lower than that? Is yours higher than that? Do you think I'm doing well? Do you think I need, you know, so genuinely to survive, you need a take home of 1.6k. Leave a like, subscribe down below. Every like helps. If you made it this far, check out some of my other videos talking about living in London, the cost, the house we've got, because our gaff is sick. And I'll see you in part 2. Remember, 100 likes for part 2. Thank you. This is part 1 in this series. I wanted to make another video where I basically go about my day-to-day life for a week, and I break down every single expenditure that I have, because if you just looked at these numbers, right, you might think, why on earth is he spending so much?